Hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and today we are going to be talking about the difference between motorcyclists and bikers. Yes, is there a difference? I'm going to tell you there is. I also want to ask you, if you would, be sure and subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, all that jazz, I'd appreciate it. But before we get going on that, I also want to tell you, if you are overly sensitive to stereotypes, if you are overly sensitive to how others may see you or see me or any of that, then I would suggest that this is your trigger warning. I don't want you to get triggered. I mean, heaven forbid you get your little peelings hurt and then you leave a bunch of nasty comments down below. So what do I mean by that? Oh, let's see what that's. Oh, stump grinding. I don't know why I saw the word shrimp when I was looking at it. I was like, man, I want some shrimp. So what do I mean, motorcyclist versus biker? When I was over at Bike Week, I ride with a lot of different people from different backgrounds and riding different machines, and I get picked at quite a bit, about not just this beautiful three-wheeled monstrosity that I lovingly know as Casper the Friendly Spyder. I love this motorcycle. I love it, and I ride it a lot. And so whenever I go on a day trip or a weekend trip with friends that are on Harleys or whatever, this is what I ride. This is my motorcycle of choice. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't love Harley Davidson. That doesn't mean that I don't love my Triumphs. My Triumph Tiger, I'm going to tell you, it's a very beautiful machine with unbelievable functionality. So why would I ride this over that? Well, it's just a matter of personal choice and comfort and all that stuff. I'll make a video on that stuff later. But the idea of these guys, the conversation comes up. What is the difference? So when I was at the Harley dealer over at Bike Week, and I wish I would have been running some cameras, but I wasn't, so I apologize for that. But as I do bike rallies in the future, I'm going to do another video on this later, that I'm going to actually walk up to bikers and ask them, like I did when I was there, but actually with the camera running, what is the difference between a motorcyclist and a biker? And does it matter? I'm going to tell you up front, it doesn't matter to me. So what defines a motorcyclist and a biker are these stereotypes. It really is. And these stereotypes, as I bring them to the forefront, you may even get a big chuckle out of what you were versus what you are. Or you may go, hey man, there's more of me in that than I wanted to know. So first off, what you ride. Does what you ride determine whether you're a biker or not? Well, bikers would tell you it does. Bikers would tell you that it has to be American iron. So define American iron. Well, most are going to say Harley Davidson, and then there's some will say, well, Harley Davidson and Indian. But the true Harley bros, they're going to tell you Indian, man, it's like kissing your sister. It might look cool, but it don't do a whole lot for you, I don't have a problem with the Indians. I think they're really cool, but I'm going to tell you, the Harley guys, the real staunch, gruff Harley guys, they're not a big fan of the Indians, and certainly the metric cruisers, all of the Japanese cruisers, and this, oh my goodness, man. So there is a difference. A true biker, what I would consider a true biker, is someone who is a staunch, you cut them, they bleed orange and black, Harley Davidson. To see someone wearing the bar and shield, for those who don't know what the bar and shield are, that's a little logo of the Harley Davidson, and it says HD in it. And that bar and shield, to see it actually tattooed all over people's bodies. I don't know that I've ever seen a Honda or a Suzuki or even a Triumph tattoo. I don't think I've seen a BRP or Can-Am tattoo either. But I have certainly seen hundreds, literally hundreds, maybe even thousands of Harley Davidson tattoos. So there is a difference there. That brand loyalty that they have runs all the way down into their skin. And if you don't think so, all you got to do is look at it. Don't let someone tell you what they are, and then you try to explain that they're not what they tell you they are. Man, look, there's a brand loyalty there. I'm not saying everybody that rides a Harley is that way, because they're not. Like I said, these are stereotypes about bikers versus motorcyclists. You can be a motorcyclist and ride a Harley Davidson, but the question is, can you be a biker and ride anything else? Probably not. Not in America anyway. So number one difference, I think, between bikers and motorcyclists is a brand loyalty that runs all the way down into their skin. All right, number two, what is the difference, man? You know, they claim, they being bikers, you know, and by the way, I used to kind of feel like I was a biker. I wasn't. I'll explain that one too in a little while. But they claim that they make up the minority of motorcycling in this country. I don't know that they do. If they do, it certainly doesn't appear that way where I live. I would say that 7 or 8 of every 10 motorcycles I see on the road are Harleys. Does that mean that everybody that's riding them is a biker? No, but that means that they have a greater proclivity to be than someone who's riding, say, this Can-Am Spyder. You've heard the term 1%er, 3%er, all these different little phrases, these little things. The 1%ers are the guys that, you know, are like Motorcycle Club, those guys. And then the 3%ers are the hardcore fringe riders. And then everybody else is just us, right? And there's this elite club that is different than the rest of us. Now, is it an elite club? I don't know. It certainly, that's how they differentiate themselves from the rest of us. So I would say, being a biker, you know, there is a more exclusivity that they see. Make sure this guy doesn't pull out and kill me. He didn't. That's good. I didn't die. But is there this exclusivity? In their eyes it is, and maybe there really is, but I see more Harleys on the road than anything else in this area. Could they be rubs? There's a phrase that if you've been in the motorcycle world for a while, you'll recognize. RUB stands for Rich Urban Biker. Those are guys like me. I was considered a rub, you know. I was the guy with the house and the kids and the wife and the successful career and all that stuff, and I could go out and buy a new motorcycle if I wanted it and cover it with chrome and get the nice leather jacket and all that stuff. I could do all that. And so a lot of guys just considered me a rub, you know. That's just the way it was. Whether I felt like I was or not, I didn't feel like I was, but they felt like I was. Now, I rode a Harley for, you know, 18, 20 years. So, you know, it is what it is. But there is that side of it. But what about a motorcyclist? You know, what makes us? Well, first off, I would say that we just like to ride motorcycles. You know, I've been to motorcycle rides. No, I didn't say biker events. Motorcycle rides where a guy will show up on a Peugeot scooter and I'm okay with it. And another guy will show up on a Ducati Panigale, and another guy will yet show up on a Harley Street Glide and laugh at everybody else. Now, that's just how it is. If you don't like that, if that hurts your feelings, well, there was a bar and shield on that sign. Guy had it out in front of his house. He's advertising what he is. You know, we more just want to ride. We want to ride something. It doesn't matter if it puts the wind in our face and the bugs in our teeth, so to speak. We're happy to just ride, and we don't care what logo it has on it. I certainly don't care. There was a time when I did. Coach Vic made that abundantly clear when we were talking about this video. She goes, oh, I remember that if it didn't say Harley on it, you wouldn't wear it. And if the person that was riding didn't own a Harley, you weren't going with them. And she's right. She's right. I was that way, man. I was that way. You know, I had the hair pulled back in a ponytail. I had the helmet and the jacket and all that stuff. And we're going to talk about all that too. But you know, that's how I was. That's how I was. But a motorcyclist just wants to ride anything, and it's not a brand loyalty. It's not even a position on that. It's just, let's ride. Let's go for a ride. It is a different mindset. Bikers versus, you know, motorcyclists. Can you be both? I don't know. Maybe you can. Maybe you can. Maybe a true biker would tell you you can't. I don't know. I would like to think that I could still, you know, hop on top of a Softail or a cool chopped bike and ride and hang out with my bros and be considered a biker. I think that maybe I've crossed that line, though, so far, that they would never consider me a biker anymore. Because I own, well, 4 motorcycles and none of them are American made. I own this Canadian machine here. I own 2 European motorcycles and a Japanese motorcycle. So, you know, would the Harley guys accept me into the fold? No, they would not. All right, so there's a couple of things, you know, the way, first off, what we actually are. I don't see us branding ourselves all the way into our skin either. So there's that. And our perception of others. All right, so here's another one, number 3. This one I thought was kind of fun. You know, I asked one of the salespeople that was a big dude, man. I mean, when I say big, he was like super tall, and he limped. And he had been in a motorcycle accident years ago and sustained some injuries. And he was like the quintessential Harley guy. He looked like the quintessential Harley guy. He spoke like that as well and was a super nice guy. That's another thing. I do believe that across, whether you're a biker or a motorcyclist, most of us do have a sense of humor. We do see this in ourselves and in others. But I asked him about, hey, would you wear what I'm wearing? All right, so let's explain what I'm wearing. I'm wearing Alpinestars gloves and Alpinestars boots. Would you wear that? And he laughed and said, hell no, I would not wear that. You look like you're getting ready to walk on the moon. So what footwear and hand protection does he wear? Well, he was wearing fingerless gloves, fingerless leather gloves. It really didn't have any real knuckle protection or you know, the thick armor plating in there. It was double stitched with leather in places, but apart from that, it was just a regular glove. It did have the bar and shield on it, though, and the boots that he wore were more like what a soldier would get, you know, a brogan, as we called them when I was a kid. But, you know, it could be a Doc Martin, which was more what the Rubs wore, he said, you know. In fact, that's actually what he said. He goes, well, if I was a Rub, I'd wear a Doc Martin. If you're a real biker, though, you're just going to wear whatever lace-up paratrooper military-style boot that you can afford. Whether that was something that was a steel-toed work boot like a Dickies or a Harley boot that's another thing. He said that a lot of the Rubs would wear also, if it didn't say Harley on it, they would not wear it. And so he laughed even about sometimes the bar and shield has been kind of hijacked from the real bikers. But he just said he wore like a pair of Dickies boots. That's what he wore. And he would never wear anything like what I'm wearing. Never. And I asked him, I said, is it fashion? And it was interesting because then we got into the discussion of fashion. See, there was a biker, right? No helmet, leather jacket, you know, had on a beanie, blue jeans. There you go. I mean, we're both riding. We're both enjoying it. So, and we got into the discussion of fashion, and he told me, he goes, look, if I don't look like a biker on my Harley, I won't wear it. The question is, are you a biker and that's why you dress that way, or are you dressing that way to look like a biker regardless of safety? You know, that's kind of the chicken and the egg argument. He asked me, would you wear a leather jacket, just a basic leather jacket? And I told him, no. But if I were going to be a biker, if I were going to look like a biker today, this is what it would look like. Now you're hearing me talk with a picture of me riding in my biker gear. But there is a difference in the way we look, and it is readily apparent. In most Harley riders, you don't see wearing Dainese jackets. You don't see them wearing Alpinestars gloves. You don't see them wearing the Street and Steel Oakland jeans. You don't see them wearing that stuff. You see them wearing Levi's or Harley branded jeans. You see them wearing, Harley branded gloves and a black leather jacket and a half helmet, if any helmet. In Florida, probably 90% of the guys that I see don't have a helmet on at all. So that's just the way that is, whether you agree or disagree, doesn't matter. It's a fact. So what we wear, man, it really does make a dramatic difference in how people perceive us, whether it's a motorcyclist or a biker. So are you angry yet? Are you getting mad? Why is he telling us all this? Because I think I see the humor in it. Again, this is tongue-in-cheek, but it doesn't make it any less true. You can see that I'm heading down. You can see the water there. I'm heading down to the lake this morning. So is that it? Just what we wear and what we ride? I would say no. There's yet more. There is a mindset difference. There is a mindset difference in that exclusivity that we spoke of earlier. There's a mindset within there. I'm going to tell you, I've often referred to it as the Harley scowl. When I would ride with friends back in the day, I'd have my Harley scowl on. What in the world? We got some big old roosters out here. You better look out. You better look out. I'm going to have me some fried chicken. This was joining the party. Look out. Look out. Looking to see if them things got spurs on them. Better slow up, man. Don't want to make one of them mad. I don't know if you've ever been spurred by a rooster, but you don't want to be. Them things can hoit you. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 fishermen out this morning. Well, I wouldn't want my brakes to fail me now, would I? End up going for a swim. Well, isn't that beautiful, man? I just love coming out here. Thank you, Lord, for being able to ride a motorcycle and being able to go to cool places. What an awesome thing. Awesome, awesome thing. But this mindset difference, I'll listen to Bruno Mars or Zach Brown or whatever. There's a kitty cat too. He's chasing them chickens. But when you go to a biker rally, it's a little different. What you're normally hearing is not Bruno Mars. You're just not. Now, is that changing somewhat? I think it is. I think the lines are starting to gray a little bit. But I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I really don't know. I guess it really doesn't matter in the long run. But there definitely is a mindset difference. I feel different. And anyone who's ever watched this channel for any extended period of time, I often say this. If you listen to certain types of music, I made a mention of this earlier last week, had someone talk about how this made them laugh. By the way, thank you for that comment. I don't have my phone or whatever in front of me, but I will respond to the comment. But said that they laughed when they heard me mention 5-finger death punch. 5-finger death punch will make you ride more aggressively versus the Carpenters or versus Bruno Mars or Alan Stone or Boz Scaggs or whatever. And I listen to everything. I'm a musician. I listen to everything from old school heavy metal, new heavy metal, to alternative, to jazz, classical. I listen to it all. Country, I like it all. I do. I like it all. And so there's a lot of times when I ride, I'll select a mood that I want to feel on this ride, and I'll align that music with how I want to feel, and it works. It works. But there was a certain aggression that I had when I was more considered a biker than the way I ride now. And I'm not talking about in speed, I'm talking about in mindset. So can we get along? Can we get along as bikers and as motorcyclists? Well, I believe we can. I don't believe it's true with everything, just like I don't believe that all people can get along, because, you know, the world shows us different. You know, the news shows us bad news and people being hateful to each other every day on the TV. So we know there are hateful people out there, and some of them are on 3 wheels, some of them are on 2 wheels. But I can tell you, as far as I'm concerned, I love them all. Even the guys who crack on me, or even the guys who say they hate what I ride, I don't have a problem with that. As long as they're nice to me, I don't care. It's not, you know, they're not spitting in my cornflakes. They're talking about a machine. Now, I will represent, you know, what I ride and talk about it and tell people, you know, hey, you know, we've done this and we've done that and blah, 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 blah. Normally when people hear about the number of miles that we put in on this thing, they completely change. Everything changes, right? Wow, you're a real motorcycle guy. You're a real motorcycle guy. And I'm like, yeah. I'm not a biker. I'm not a biker. You can call me a biker, that's okay, but I'm not. I'm a motorcyclist. If I got a Harley, would I look like a biker? Probably. Would I want to wear more Harley looking gear? I would. I think that's part of the experience, the Harley Davidson experience. I think the difference is now I would wear real gloves that have armor in them, real boots that have protection in them. Even if they looked like regular street boots, they would be real boots that had real protection in them, you know. And that's the cool thing now. You can have the best of both worlds, and that's why I don't understand why people don't do that. It costs a little bit more to do that, but, you know, you can have the Harley authentic looking gloves and a Harley authentic looking leather jacket and authentic looking boots and jeans, and still have Kevlar linings and CE2 armor and that sort of stuff. You could have the best of both worlds. I can tell you though, I remember riding, no helmet, t-shirt, sleeves cut out of it, blue jeans with holes in them, boots from the Army surplus store, no gloves. Riding on a set of 16-inch ape hangers in the wind, baby. No front fender and just hammered down. I'd do 400 or 500 mile days and wouldn't think anything about it. I was a lot younger then. And I loved motorcycles as much then as I do now, and as much now as I did then, and everything in between, man. So, am I a biker? Yes. Am I a motorcyclist? Yes. I guess I'm all of it. The more I think about it, the more I don't care what you ride, as long as you enjoy all of it that you do. You don't have to enjoy what I do. Enjoy what you do. All right. Well, whether you're a motorcyclist or a biker, I don't care. If you're a biker, you got to give this video a thumbs up. But if you're a motorcyclist, you got to give this video a thumbs up. So give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. You know, you have to keep that thing in the wind as much as you can. Enjoy your life, because it's worth enjoying. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for making the channel cool. Thank you for all of the comments. Leave some comments down below and let us know. Let me know what you're doing. And all right, here we go. All right. But leave some comments down below on your experiences at bike rallies, and do you get treated like a first class or second class citizen depending on what you ride? Have you been to bike rallies? I've been to bike rallies on Harleys and Spyders, and I can tell you I'm treated differently. I am, based on what I wear. Ooh, that was a trash can lid. I'm treated differently on how I dress. I am. And on what I ride. There is no doubt about it. You're looked at different, you're talked to different. And anyone who doesn't believe that, well, they just haven't ridden both brands. They just haven't ridden off brands. Or if they've ridden an off brand, they don't know what it feels like to be in the inner circle. All right. Well, there you have it. Bikers, motorcyclists, it's awesome. Let's ride. Let's do our thing. It's super duper cool. But until next time, you do me a favor. Go out. Buy the motorcycle of your dreams, or the bike of your dreams. Eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, If you're not having fun, you are definitely doing it wrong. Now you go seize the day, and I will see you on the road real soon. Hoorah!